Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad and our live launch coverage of SpaceX Starlink 11-5, set to launch from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the launch pad, and at L-8 minutes and counting, Falcon 9 is finalizing its fueling in preparation for launch. Today's Falcon 9 booster is Booster 1075, going for its 21st flight after previously supporting SDA-0A, Sarah 2, Transporter 11, and 17 Starlink missions. SpaceX's drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, is stationed downrange in the Pacific Ocean, ready to recover the first stage here today, as well as their recovery ship for the fairings. As a reminder, there is a possibility that residents in Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, and Ventura counties may hear one or more sonic booms during today's launch, depending on weather and other atmospheric conditions, even though this is just a launch and not a return to landing site. On board today's Falcon 9 are 28 Starlink satellites heading up to low Earth orbit. They're launching in a 53.1 degree inclination, so a coast hugger configuration for today's mission. As always, if you guys have questions, you can send those to us in the chat by tagging us at the launch pad. I'll work on answering those live. We did just pin a video in the chat there, some of the latest news that we dropped yesterday, news videos on NASA to open SpaceX's Artemis 3 contract to Blue Origin, as they believe Starship is behind schedule, and they're looking for other alternatives. It's about a 3.5-minute video, so definitely take a moment and check that out either before launch or after the launch. A lot of information in there that's confirmed on everything that's happening so far. We're going to work on bringing out those news updates as often as we can throughout the weeks, and excited to get back to doing those, bringing you guys the latest in space news. Thank you to Captain Kirsch for that one gifted Launchpad membership. I appreciate your support. If you guys haven't yet, take a moment, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. We're just waiting for SpaceX to spool up and begin their live coverage, and then we will, of course, patch them in and listen in to SpaceX Mission Control. We should be about 5 minutes, 40 seconds and counting till liftoff. Weather's looking pretty good for today's flight. You can see some clouds to the north, and that fog along the coastline starting to burn off a little bit here today, but still looking towards a decent opportunity for launch here today from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Today's mission will be SpaceX's 138th flight of 2025, the 133rd mission for Falcon 9 this year. This will be the 551st Falcon mission in its history, and the 242nd orbital launch of any orbital launch company around the world. So, looks like we're going to be tight on if we can hit that 300 number this year. Maybe next year will have to be the first year that we see that happen. There you are looking now at a live view of Slick 4E, where Falcon 9 is fueling up.
Starlink retract has started.
Beautiful morning on the Space Coast West. You heard there a call out for strong back retract. That's when the mechanical truss structure to the right of the vehicle on your current screen will retract away just a few degrees away from the vehicle in preparation for launch. Now, unlike on Space Coast East in Florida, where the strongback will retract further during liftoff, at Vandenberg it does not. So this retraction that we see, it'll stay in that point the entire time of the flight until SpaceX retracts it down following liftoff. We got lots of people tuning in from all over the world. We're glad to have you here. If you haven't yet, let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Engage that like button, share out the stream, invite people to join us. We got DS Cartoons in Bueno Park, California. Captain Kirsch is in Columbus, Minnesota, I think that is, hopefully. Crystal Waters is in Mountainburg, Arkansas. We got Steve from Newport Beach reporting in. Hopefully you get a good view here today. John Glow watching from the city of Arcadia in California. Fabi is in South Africa. Maria is in Devon, England. We got David in Southwold, South England. Welcome. Deb's in Arizona. Great to have so many of you joining us live here today. Coming down just to 3 minutes, 7 seconds and counting till liftoff.
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Don't forget to send in the chat your guys' guesses for first stage apogee. You can submit those in all the way up until Miko. T-minus 2 minutes, 40 seconds and counting. At T-minus 1 minute, that's when Falcon 9 will take over the countdown, pressurize its tanks to flight levels. At L-minus 45 seconds, the launch director will give a final go for launch. And at L-minus 0, we will have liftoff of Falcon 9 carrying 28 Starlink V2 minis to low Earth orbit. As we come down to that 2-minute mark, as always, let's see that go, no go in the chat from you guys. If you aren't a member yet and don't have access to those custom TLP launch emotes you see in the chat, consider hitting the join button. Just 99 cents a month gets you access to them and helps support our work. L-minus 2 minutes and counting, going full screen on the live shot there. Beautiful looking morning at Vandenberg in California. Now this is the first of 2 launches on the schedule for today. SpaceX is scheduled 11 hours, 15 minutes from now for a second Falcon 9 launch, this one from Florida, carrying the SpainSat New Generation 2. That scheduled liftoff time is 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We should be going live about 45 minutes to an hour prior to that. L-minus 90 seconds and counting till launch. Waiting for that call out of Falcon 9 taking over the count and the final go for launch from the launch director. Let's listen in.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
LD is go for launch.
$30 seconds. $15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engines full power. And liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink, go Falcon.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
And Falcon 9 has lifted off from Slick 4E at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. T plus 38 seconds into flight. Vehicle passing over 750 kilometers in speed, passing up to 4 kilometers in altitude. Coming up will be the call out for max Q. That's the moment of peak mechanical stress on the vehicle. Let's listen for the call out.
Vehicle supersonic. Max Q.
And there's that call out for max Q. And we saw a little bit of a vapor cone there as it went supersonic. Always a beautiful sight when it's a nice, clear morning. Now 1 minute, 20 seconds into flight. Falcon 9 now traveling over 2,000 kilometers an hour, increasing rapidly, experiencing 2.2 Gs of force. We're going to see that increase over the next couple of minutes. Now coming up to 20 kilometers in altitude. Engine chill has begun on the second stage as we approach the beginning of a sequence of events, kicking off with max Q. with main engine cutoff, or MECO. That'll occur 2 minutes 24 seconds into flight, immediately followed by first and second stage separation, second engine start or MVAC engine start, grid fin deploy on the first stage, and then fairing deployment about 15 seconds later. That's when those 28 Starlink satellites will be exposed to the vacuum of space for the very first time. That's callouts should begin in the next 15 seconds, so let's listen in.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
MVAC ignition.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And that sequence of events now complete. The first stage is now floating up to its apogee. That'll be its highest point in its flight before it descends back down to Earth and lands on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. It'll conduct a entry burn 6 minutes 6 seconds into flight for 24 seconds, and its landing burn will begin 7 minutes 58 seconds into flight. The second stage will stay under power until 8 minutes 39 seconds into flight, when we will have SECO 1. The second stage will be in its initial parking orbit. It'll stay there in a coast phase until 53 minutes 16 seconds into flight, where it'll reignite its engine for just 1 second to take it from its initial parking orbit to its deployment orbit. 1 hour, 8 seconds after liftoff, that is when those 28 Starlink V2 minis will be deployed into their initial deployment orbit in low Earth orbit. Coming up to T plus 4 minutes, 20 seconds, and counting to launch. The first stage looks like it's maxing out maybe 115. We'll see if it pushes 116. Second stage now traveling over 10,300 kilometers an hour, passing an altitude of 138 kilometers and increasing. Looks like 115 is our winner here today for those first stage guesses. See if we got anyone that guessed right. Looks like Keith said 115. Well done. Maria said 115 as well. So did Old Dad and Randy. Well done, everyone. Stay tuned. We are working on actually having some fun with that. Maybe there being some prizes and things involved with those guesses in the near future. 5 minutes into flight, first stage now approaching the Kármán line as it prepares for its entry burn and its return to Earth.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 entry burn shutdown. 1 transonic.
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
Stage
1
2,
landing burn.
terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there we have it. Falcon 9 has landed on the drone ship. Of course, I still love you, completing its 21st flight. Today's flight on a 46-day turnaround. This was SpaceX's 539th Falcon 9 recovery. The second stage now has Seco 1 entering its coast phase ahead of that final Little Bird ahead of deployment later in the hour. Now, unfortunately, SpaceX no longer provides live deployment coverage. So with that, we are going to wrap up our live coverage for Starlink 11-5. We hope you'll join us back here tonight for the second Falcon 9 launch of the day. Maybe you'll join us over on our Starbase Now or ISS Now live broadcast, and make sure you take a moment and check out the latest space news as NASA looks to open up SpaceX's Artemis 3 landing contract and maybe allow Blue Origin to land the first people on the moon in 53 years and not SpaceX. Make sure you go check out that update. And SLS is back fully stacked in the VAB. For now, from our TOP Canada studio, my name's Zach. I'll see you later today or next time because space is better together. Have a great day.